We can never be led by people who interfere in the affairs of the ANC Youth League. We must be able to defend the autonomy of the Youth League. Some people still even have guts to stand up today and say the Youth League must be a desk, undermining the role that the Youth League plays in this country to liberate the poor, but to continue to make the ANC relevant as a fighting force for the total liberation of our people. We will never polish the issue of land. There is no way, even if you try, comrades, leaders, there is no way you can be diplomatic about the issue of land. The leadership of the ANC must implement the Polokwane resolution. Polokwane said, willing buyer, willing seller has failed. We must find an alternative. You have not come with an alternative. We are giving you an alternative. We must take the land without payment. If you've got an alternative, we are prepared to listen. Nationalization of mines is a resolution of this Congress. So perhaps we'll hear very minimal of Malema's policy on nationalization. Because now it's not Malema. 5,000 plus coming from many, many branches all over South Africa. Nationalization is the policy of the Youth League. We may not agree with the method used in Zimbabwe, but the critical issue is resolved. Land question. We want land. Without land, we are nothing. Why would this South Africa belong to us when we have nothing to show that this South Africa belongs to us? We need the leadership that is ready to resolve this matter. In 2040, not more than 5% will be transferred. What does it mean? It means our economy will still be dominated by the minority. Capital suffers from a mind of a rat. They think if there's going to be an uprising, it's only the ANC which is going to be overthrown. They don't know that we will start with them. Here in Tanzania, our people will just walk from Alexander, just across the street, open the fridge, and just mess themselves with cheese and everything else they find in that fridge. We're not going to say it diplomatically. If you want to transfer wealth, who owns this wealth?
Good evening, good evening, good evening, my people. Yeah, it's that time once more again. Me and you. Yeah, man. Let's hear Malema out again.
In whose hands is this wealth? It's white monopoly capital. Those are the people who want to take from and give to the majority. The ANC must lead the people. The ANC must lead with the people. We are asking for leadership. We don't want to remove anybody. We don't want to remove you. We talk about the pain we are going through. We don't read about poverty. We lived poverty. We're asking for radical policy shifts. We are turning 100 years. We want more action from the leadership. Comrades, we must go back and build structures of the youth. and you must be members of the ANC. There must never be a meeting of the ANC where young people do not constitute 50% plus if we want to change this ANC. And by the way, we are not going to win the ANC over through speaking here in Galag. We must go to the ground.
Guys, he has said it. This is like how many years ago? Almost, it's more than 10 years. Just like 2013, if not 2012, if not 2008. When was this? June 2011. June 2011, Malema delivered this speech telling the elders, telling the leaders of the ANC that they must think again about the land question. So with that being said, buckle up, folks. We are about to dive head on into the economic fighters story, like the economic freedom fighters story, how it started and where is it right now, and all the other political issues it is facing, political victories it has gone through. So yeah, man, there's a political thrill ride that's a mix of rebellion, reform, and little drama along the way. Because we'll be talking about EFF, right? Where there's EFF, there's always drama. They will always say that. Hayi, asimfuni lo mfana lona nenkinga. As we know, guys, check this out as we're building up. As we're building up the story of EFF to today. Then up to today. So yeah, that's EFF there in the beginning stages, full of energy. You can see people rallying. So Julius Malema and Floyd were firing up ANC Youth League back in the day with both ideas, as you heard him talking about land redistribution, nationalization, the whole 9 yards. But those radical, you know, all this time when they were there, these kids, you may call them kids, they were asking for the leaders of the ANC to do something up until they mobilized. You can see there, that's the back in the day when Malem was still huge. Just after he made that speech, this is what he did. He came up here, mobilized people. I don't know if it was during the time he was thinking of forming this EFF, but they talked about nationalization. They talked about land redistribution, but they were just talking to deaf ears. So those ideas didn't sit well with the leaders of the ANC at all. You know, it's like there were kids yapping, and old people and uncles are just having fun, having braai and not minding what are the kids crying for. So we press the ANC were like, okay, we'll see you. Now what happens? They got irritated and they had to put Malema in Shivambu. Pew, pew. The president, the deputy president of the Youth League then. They were kicked out of the party. After numerous appeals, but the ANC was like, guys, no. Most people in this case would take a fade, would take it easy and just fade out quietly. But these two guys, they took it as a sign to level up. And boy, did they ever. I know. Man, the first thing that put them on the map, we all remember, Marikana. I'm about to show you some bad graphics here that contain disturbing images. So when Marikana happened,
Police opening fire on striking mine workers, images of a turning point in post-apartheid South Africa. By the time the guns fell silent on August 16th, it was clear that growing inequality threatened stability in Nelson Mandela's Rainbow Nation. It's an episode locals have dubbed the Marikana Massacre.
The Marikana Massacre is not a simple issue. It's
oh guys, that was heavy. That was really bad. That was really sad, you know? When it happened, a lot of souls, a lot of lives were lost. A lot of fathers were lost. Families faced yet again poverty, even though they were not even living better lives even before. But things got worse when these breadwinners died. So yeah, it's so sad that the EFF used that to ride. It's not sad though, to ride the wave of politics in South Africa. That's when they got onto that's when the EFF got onto the billboard of politics in SA. So as sad as it was, the massacre that rocked the nation in 2012, police opening fire on striking miners. Like imagine these guys were just striking, which was very brutal wake-up call, which then made Malema rallying behind the miners and laying blame on guess who you know, the ANC, of course, which was the government during that time of this tragic act by the police. So this tragedy gave the EFF movement a powerful push, a stark reminder that South Africa's working class felt ignored, betrayed, and they were ready for a new kind of a leader. Thanks to Marikana. Sadly so. But then again, as the EFF was formed, we've seen a lot happening. After people were longing for this new kind of a leader, then boom, Uncle Tom's Hall, Soweto happened. Things went well. Things were good. People came in numbers to support the newly formed party, the EFF. Things were sweet. Things were good. As you can see.
Tio, tio. Tio, mama, tio. Tio, tio. Tio, mama, tio. Kuta, kuta.
Yeah, guys, as you can see there, Shivambu is not making sure, or is not make sure. It's kind of like, hey, I'm here for another mission. It was like a CIA inside the party. As he departed, a lot of people followed him. We are going to cover that later on, so stick around. Don't you dare go anywhere. So July 27th, 2013, Malema Shivambu gathered 1,200 delegates in Soweto, Uncle Tom's Hall, historical venue for a new movement. The result, the EFF is born. They were not messing around. They drew up a constitution, slapped together a manifesto. They hit the ground running. Some political observers, they said, it's the most rapid grassroots mobilization in modern South Africa politics. Even the Freedom Front Plus tried to block their IEC registration until that was promptly shut down. Let's go on for the EFF. They were doing great, unstoppable, even in court. They were an established party. So, as the party was established, big faces were joined. People known, prominent figures were part of it. Good people were smiling together. The lineup of characters such as Mbuyiseni Ndlozi, Andile Mqatima, Dalim Mpofu, you can hear the words there, man. This is a good team together. Just to name a few, the EFF quickly gained steam, promising to put economic freedom front and center. Nationalization, freedom, education, healthcare, land reform. No topic too hot. No punch pulled. South Africa's youth loved it. We loved it. Towards 2019. But we never knew what was happening inside. When the curtains were closed, when the doors were shut, we really didn't know what was happening. Who was calling the shots? Maybe someone wanted to be the emperor and trying to make EFF an empire, or some people wanted to be in higher places even though they didn't deserve to be there, or they had to wait, or they just couldn't wait, or we don't know. We never know, man, what's happening. Probably it's a political move, it's a political chess type of a game that is being played by these two parties, because this exodus is happening, this EFF exodus is happening. Like, these are the founders of EFF, people. They are departing, they are leaving the party that they've started together. What do you think? In going to one party? Hey, aren't they going there to take over that party? Because there's no one there in that party, if you can check, who is really politically conscious in this new party called MK. So all the guys who are going there from the EFF, I'm quite sure they're trying to strengthen the political sense of that party as well. Yes, I know there are some such other members who have such knowledge and experience who came from the other parties to join the MK party, but most of the guys there, they're coming from the EFF and the ANC, of which all the guys who were in the EFF came from the ANC. This could be the other ANC, or the old ANC is trying to reform itself, trying to rebuild itself outside the ANC. You'll never know. Hence, I'm saying this might be a political game, a political chess move. So as we're watching, I don't want to come with controversy, but you remember before the MK party was formed, when Zuma was kicked out of the ANC, was expelled just like Malema was, we must remember, right? We must all remember now that the move, right? See what I'm talking about? We must remember. We must remember this tea. Do you remember this tea? This tea meeting. We must remember that tea meeting. Now, in a move that left a lot of people scratching their heads when Malema recently closed up with the MK party founder, Jacob Zuma, and they had a tea. Now, tell me, is this a strategic move? A new coalition? Like that they don't want to come out clean with it and say this is a coalition. I don't know. So I'm just gonna leave you for now with this million rand question. What's next? What's next, my people? Can the AFF overcome the internal rifts, redefine itself for a new generation, or are they stuck in the past? Either way, one thing for sure, they are up to something, even though it is surely slowly decaying. Which party is Julius Malema going to join when EFF dies? Let me leave you with that question for now. But we'll be back with more coverage on what is happening to the EFF as Mpofu as well left for MK party. I'm not done with this. I'll be back just in a sec. Let's take a breather for now.